Breaking news, guys! What's going on, people? Urson here. Chelsea are set to sign a striker before Arsenal. Yes, Chelsea, who have won the same amount of league games as Arsenal, alongside winning a Conference League, are set to sign Liam Delap. They are set to sign a striker before Arsenal, who finished with 74 points, that are desperately in need. Make of that what you will. I can't lie. Chelsea, they're not messing about. They've already got a striker in demand. Yeah? Chelsea closing in on Liam Delap as details of long-term contract being completed with his agents. Maresca appreciates him, and the Champions League football made the difference, and Chelsea is set to activate a £30 million release clause. Chelsea just wait for formal communication now. So you mean to tell me that Arsenal fans were angry about not signing Joan Garcia for 25 million when we are desperately in need of a striker and a backup striker, and Delap is available for £5 million extra? Hey, we need two strikers, you know. If you don't think Havertz is worth the billing at Arsenal and Marino can't do a job, and Gabriel Jesus with his injury problems, that means we need two strikers. Because Trossard ain't good enough as a striker. Sterling's not even playing for Arsenal anymore. He was never a striker, never good enough. Martinelli could have been a striker, but he's not a striker. Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is insane. This is incredible. Like, I'm in between filming about Thierry Henry, who insisted that Arsenal sign a striker. I'll get a video out on that later on. But this is an in-demand striker that has literally rejected Man United, Newcastle, Everton, Forest, AC Milan, and Juventus for Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club making a headway. Chelsea Football Club, who, finished fourth behind Arsenal in the league table. We finished second. Yeah, they won the same amount of league games as Arsenal. And already, who need a striker because they don't think Jackson is good enough. They don't think Nkunku is good enough. But they've signed a striker that is good enough. Like, quick little stats here. Look, he's played for a championship side in Ipswich. He grabbed 12 goals, 2 assists, 37 appearances. Not bad. Not bad for a 22-year-old who is played in his first full season in English football. This is a potential England winner, for example, because he'll be an England squad member for years to come. He could even get 40 appearances for England, 40 caps at the minimum. But yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that we haven't gone in for him. You know, we're still babbling away at whether we should sign Seshko or Gyökeres. You know, in fact, Delap scored more goals in the Premier League than those two, even though it ain't their fault. But they're a side that have actually made a bit of progress. Last season, they finished 6th under Mauricio Pochettino, and the season before that, they finished 12th, right? Shuffling managers every day. They've kept their manager this season, right? And they finished 4th, having had 6 more points than the previous season, having even had less goals, but they're going to get a potential 50-goal a season striker. You know, they've won more games than last season. They've won a Conference League. They were even in a title race at the start stage. They were doing really well at the start of the first half of the season. They were actually, doing good. You know, there was a spell where they were only six points behind Liverpool. And I said to Chelsea fans, you should believe in your team to win a league. Why don't you? Be a bit more deluded. They was like, no. But next season, they could well be in the race for a top 3 finish or a top 2 finish. They're a side that could get 75 plus points in the season, with a good Champions League run, with a good FA Cup and EFL Cup, Because they won the Conference League. They've won a final. They've won a semi-final. That could give them a big boost to win a Carabao Cup. They lost to Newcastle. We lost to Newcastle in that competition. So, yeah. Chelsea signing Liam Delap before Arsenal signed a striker. They signed a striker before Arsenal. They've won a European trophy before Arsenal. They've won the same amount of league games. And I made a video yesterday talking about how they've had a better season than Arsenal. And I spoke to a few Chelsea fans that asked them, and they said we should be winning for that second team. And to be fair, they did. In fact, Chelsea should have gone the whole tournament without a draw or a loss. Do you know what I mean? And I think they lost to Liga Warsaw. But Chelsea have signed a striker before Arsenal. And they signed a striker in Nkunku last season. And the striker the season before that, Nicholas Jackson. So, whereas we signed Havertz, who's a midfielder, that Arteta likes is a midfielder, and Mourinho, who's a midfielder. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I shouldn't be angry about this. There's probably people that are going to be commenting, oh my god, but we want Gilchrist and Seshko and they're better. Maybe. Time will tell. I'm just fed up of Arsenal not signing a striker yet. Waiting. It's the fact that he was in demand and he's made actually a very smart move. Juventus would have been a good move for him to try out Serie A. Fits the style of play. Nottingham Forest done well to get into the Conference League, but Newcastle would have been a good place for him to go to. But with Isaac so highly regarded at Newcastle, he probably wouldn't be starting for Newcastle, even though they're also in the Champions League. But yeah, he's going to get Champions League football. He's going to get a chance under a manager he's played for in Maresca. That's it. Marc Guiu also traded, which means he could be on the out. Should Arsenal sign him? You know, Arsenal sign Chelsea players all the time. Jorginho, Sterling, Willian, David Luiz. Hey! Aubameyang and Giroud went the opposite direction. You know what I mean? So, Chelsea have done well. I can't even lie. They've won a cup final. They've actually beaten the teams that we should beat. Yeah, we beat Real Madrid. That's harder than beating Betis. But yeah, 20 league wins the same as Arsenal. That's what we should be annoyed about. See you guys later. In a bit, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. In a bit, people. In a bit, I'm out.